Okay, guys, we just saw Microsoft. It just ended.
Yep.
So it was a pretty good show. I know Brant wasn't too thrilled.
Actually, it was good.
Good.
It was good.
But
Yeah.
so real quick, Matt was taking notes during the show, so we're going to cover a little bit of it, and then at the end, like we did with Bethesda, we'll kind of give you our grade on it, and give it the life of gaming approval.
Stamp of
What-
approval.
Hit us with it, sir. What do we got?
I will start it off with just kind of an intro video showing some of their main series, at least they showed, or at least the exclusives they're promoting.
Sure.
Marcus Phoenix, it had Master Chief, had Agent Locke, had Lara Croft, and just kind of a little cinematic trailer. And then it went straight into Halo 5. They started off with 343's Halo 5, which is a good start. I think it's just one of their big titles.
Open it with a bang.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And they showed a trailer, which I didn't get to hear very much of because there were some people chattering. But it looked,
Hey, just to set the stage here. We are rushing to get the internet working to try to get the trailer to start, and so
Yeah.
Matt started on his phone. He was watching on his little screen, and about like right when the Halo 5 trailer started, roughly, we got it onto the TV.
James was like,
Oh my gosh, it's not working. But we got it going, so we're
That's
good.
true. It looked interesting. So obviously, I didn't catch a lot of the details about the
Sure.
story, but I know a lot of them leaked early. That was one thing that came out, but it looks really cool. I'm very excited to know that there is Blue Team and the ODST characters return. Some of them do,
Yeah.
and they're going to
Okay.
be on Locke's team. It looks. They got into the gameplay a little bit after that point and started to reveal a little bit more about what's going on. You could kind of get some glimpses. For those of you who know a little bit about the Halo series, it looks like the Didact is back in some capacity, and there's more Prometheans going around. And Locke, while trying to hunt down Master Chief, the battle they showed was Locke and his team,
Yeah.
and they were fighting a bunch of Prometheans. So there's something going on. I couldn't tell what planet it was. It had to be just
Yeah.
some planet they were venturing on.
Well, see, for me, I've only played the first 3 Halo games,
Yeah.
so I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
So I've
yeah,
still have
before
to,
it had a major story elements.
Yeah,
Right. So for me, I mean, I thought it looked cool. I thought it looked awesome, but I still need to finish that Master Chief collection and get through Halo 4 because we're having a lot of issues trying to get through Halo 2. 2
Yeah.
missions left, guys, and I'm through Halo 2.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm getting there.
but
I will catch
One
up
of the
eventually.
once Fallout 4 comes out, it's over, man.
But some cool things other than the story. We saw that there was secondary fire now attached to a lot of the guns. There was one of the guns that like almost had like it turned into almost like a
it was
crossbow
the
and
pulse
it shot
rifle,
an
right?
electric energy. No, he picked up the Covenant.
I can't remember what it was. But I just remember,
but
it was one of the
cool,
games from the other,
It was
one of the
cool.
weapons from the other games. You're right, like these almost like fins came out of the side.
Yeah, so it
pretty
looks
cool.
like you
Like a
might get
secondary
secondary
fire.
fire. Newer weapons, obviously. You could issue commands to your teammates. So they'd been talking
Yep.
a lot about how there's always 4 players going. They might be AI if you're playing by yourself. If you're playing with 2 people, the other 2 would be AI. It seems like it's going to be kind of like Halo 2 in the sense that there's 2 stories going on. I don't know if they're going to do just one full Master Chief campaign and one Locke campaign, or they bounce back and forth like in Halo 2.
Sure.
But it'd be interesting. But you could issue commands. There was drop in, drop out multiplayer, so you don't have to start a level. You could hop in the middle of a level with somebody,
Yep.
which is cool, in the co-op at least. Then the multiplayer itself, which they promoted for a little bit, they came out and talked about it. It was player versus player. It kind of like Titanfall, and that there was AI, but there was also that Warzone
Sure.
thing, and it looked kind of interesting. It looked like Titanfall in a Halo world, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had regular enemies you could fight, plus who you're going against.
Yeah, but that was pretty much the big things about Halo. Some stuff had leaked, obviously, so it didn't make it as impactful, but it was.
And did they show do we know the release date on Halo 5?
It's coming out
I
at the
didn't
end of
see
the
that.
year.
Is it like, it's probably
said-
October. I think it's October, like the end of October.
Yeah, October. They already
Probably.
revealed
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Just making sure it's not, well, we'll talk about the release date for Tomb Raider in a little bit.
yeah.
Supposedly
Sure,
released.
sure.
After that, they unveiled a new exclusive from a first-party studio, so it's going to
Yep.
be full forever exclusive. Game called Recore, which was
and they said it was by KJ Inafune.
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy who worked on Metroid Prime. So that, I mean, they didn't really show a lot. It was more like a cinematic story trailer.
Yeah.
But it could be pretty cool. I mean, 'cause Metroid was awesome.
yeah, it looked
Exactly.
It looked interesting. It had the girl, and she was like with a dog, and when she got into combat, the dog like helped her out, and
Yeah.
she would she threw like a ball or something at the like enemy, and
Oh.
the dog went up after it. It was cool. It might be interactive in how you do that, but then
Like-
the dog got destroyed.
Right.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
took out all the enemies, and then she took the ball and put it in
Into,
this
into another
huge
robot.
mech
yeah.
that she found, and it was
Yeah,
actually
so-
this huge mech that
So-
looked like similar to like Half-Life 2, that dog thing that you would have, it looked like that.
So I'm sort of wondering if that's going to be like in puzzle elements or something, because depending on you take that energy ball out and put it into different sized robots or whatever to solve different puzzles. Because maybe you need the dog to like dig up stuff. Maybe you need the bigger robot to lift stuff. I mean, I can just see all
there's
sorts of puzzle
so many
elements.
uses.
I don't know. The impression I kind of got from it was just that it was telling you there's going to be a multitude of things you can put this ball in, and whatever the ball is, that's your actual companion.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so there can be anything. You might even be able to put it in tanks and vehicles
Sure.
and stuff like
Sure.
that. Like, we don't know what, but it seemed kind of interesting. It's hard to get that excited about a new IP because you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Is it-
Well, at
but
least they
it looked
have
good.
one. You know,
Exactly.
they have more coming.
Sure, but I mean, is
So-
it going to be like last year where they showed off Scalebound and stuff, and then this year it wasn't even there? I mean, it's coming to Gamescom.
It says it's coming
Yeah.
out 2016 at the end, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's coming out 2017.
yeah, it might get pushed. So
But
we'll see. You
I don't
never
know. I don't know how you guys felt about that game overall. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think it
but-
should be cool. I mean, I'd like to see more.
But
Yeah.
next was the big announcement for what it is.
This was one of their game changers.
Yeah, this was the first like wow moment.
Yeah, they come out and they say, you know, a lot of people had 360 games. A lot of you guys enjoy them. They announced backwards compatibility full on for the Xbox One with 100 titles at launch whenever it comes out,
What?
which is pretty crazy.
Boom! Second boom.
And you gotta think that those titles are gonna be your main Halo
Yeah.
games, which they got a cheap
Oh, yeah.
collection,
Yep.
but
Gears
your
of
Gears
War.
games,
Yeah.
Fable games,
And they said
Alan
that
Wake,
the Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Vegas games.
those
They
games.
said
Yeah.
those are actually coming with Rainbow Six. Was it Siege? Those called?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's coming with those for free, so
Yep.
it's going to be backwards compatible of the 360 games.
So how's that going to work? You think? Do you think it's just like you buy the Rainbow Six Siege disc and you don't have to have owned the previous discs? It
Well, it's
just
like,
downloads it onto the system.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was like BioShock Infinite. It came with the original BioShock. All you
Okay.
did was load the game onto
and it
your
installed,
system.
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and from the way they made the backwards compatibility sound, it sounds like what you're going to do, you put the disc in your system, and then the store registers that you have it, and then just downloads it on. Because they said it's going to download onto your hard drive. But the question is, do you need that disc afterwards? Do you need the disc to play it?
I would assume
Because
you
it's a
would.
digital copy anyway.
I would assume you would,
I don't know.
though, because it's like
They
like
can
how it
tell
works
the
now.
difference. Though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that-
like how
that's
it works
probably
now.
true.
Because like now you download a lot of times most of the games off a disc, but then
Yeah.
you still have to have the disc in there. And PC works the same way.
Sure.
PC, whenever you have a game, you can fully install the game onto your PC, but like
You still need the
you
disc.
still need to
Yeah,
put the disc
yeah,
in so
yeah.
it detects that you have it.
And honestly, most games we're playing now, they've got like 40, 50 gig installs anyway. It's almost the entire
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Yeah.
But the 360 games are a lot less.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
But that's
not much of a problem.
for me. That's really exciting. You didn't ever had a 360. You got rid of yours.
Yeah, but I would love to go back and own Gears. I'd love to own Alan Wake again. I would love to own
Oh,
Mass
yeah.
Effect. They said Mass Effect was going
Mass
to be on
Effect.
there. I would
And I
love
wonder-
to own all of that again.
And I wonder if,
I'd absolutely do it.
I wonder if during EA's conference, if they talk about Mass Effect, if they say like, well, if you have these games for Xbox One, your saves will transfer into
Mass
the
Effect
Mass Effect
4.
4.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
I'm really.
That would be
if
cool.
they show Mass
Another
Effect 4,
question
I
is,
think
if
it'd be
you
awesome.
only have the downloadable game on your 360, will it transfer? I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
the
lot
question.
of different
Yeah,
questions
sure.
you have to ask.
I wonder if it's on the Xbox Live like still, and you can
Mm-hmm.
download it now. They may, if they don't right away, they may be in the future bring that over to where
Right.
you
Sure.
can download it. The only question, like I had Turtles in Time Reshelled, and
Yeah.
that was taken off the
It
store.
got taken off store. Yeah, and like
So
the Simpsons arcade game, like all that stuff got taken down.
yeah,
Oh,
so
I didn't
those
know
that,
that.
those
Wow,
that have got
anymore.
taken down, they got taken down off of every store.
Licensing
right?
expired. So
yeah, so
but you never know. I mean, it's still a pretty big announcement, though. I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
excited.
yeah, they threw the ball in Sony's court
Yeah,
now.
because
So-
I mean, Sony has PlayStation Now,
they had
which
that.
which you stream. But
they
it costs
sort,
you money.
yeah. I mean, and that costs
It's
money.
what, 20
This
bucks,
is
$20 a month. How much is it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It was
I
like
was like 10 bucks a
10
month.
bucks
10 bucks a month.
Yeah,
it's expensive.
Or-
And I know, like the next big thing they were talking about was the EA Access.
well, it was before that actually.
Okay.
It was a while away.
Sure.
But that they did kind of take a shot at Sony with
Yeah.
that and how they were like,
You don't have to pay for it.
you don't have to pay for it.
If
Yeah.
you own the game, you don't have to pay for it.
And obviously, whatever bias you have, you're gonna love or hate that specific moment.
Sure.
But
And everybody makes a
So
big
brand
deal
new.
about backwards compatibility. So this was a huge move for me. It's not a big deal because I was still on my PS3 and I
Yeah,
still have all
yeah.
those games, so it's
Yeah.
not a big deal for me. But everybody makes a big deal about backwards compatibility.
I think the
So
reason
I mean, it's a great move by them. I mean, this really puts pressure on Sony to
Sure.
do something with it.
for me it feels like with Nintendo when I upgraded to my Wii U,
Mhm.
I didn't get rid of my Wii because I use it for GameCube games. Because my original GameCube was one of those rare ones that actually doesn't work anymore. But and I didn't do anything to it; it just doesn't
Yeah,
work anymore.
yeah.
But I could get rid of my Wii. You got rid of your Wii.
Yeah,
You can,
I did.
and so that's the
'Cause
cool
my
thing
GameCube
about
still
it.
works,
You can
yeah.
get rid of a system. You can take it in trade in,
completely
get $10
backwards.
for
Yeah,
it or
because I
whatever.
took on my PS3 and all my PS3 games and my Wii and traded all that. So I got a pretty good amount of money for
Yeah.
that. The only thing I'm wondering though, if I can get the backwards compatibility of the Gears series, and I have all the Gears games, what is my incentive to go and play the Gears of War remastered? I mean, because if I could play Gears 1
Well-
and get it for like $5, why am I going to pay like
well,
$60
it's
for
maybe
a remastered version?
HD
It's-
remaster.
yeah, it's 1080p,
They-
60 frames
it's
per
not that
second,
big of a
yeah.
deal, but
Oh, yeah,
And
okay,
and
sorry.
I hope that's not a $60 game. I really
And
hope it's not.
all the definitive editions
$40 would be.
are. All the definitive editions.
Yeah.
are.
Was Last of Us for PS4 $60?
Yeah,
it
it was.
Yeah,
Man.
so well.
That's
But now it comes with the system when you buy it. Every system.
Yeah.
And oh,
comes
by
with
the
it.
way, if you love The Last of Us, make sure to check out our Facebook page. We're
Oh, yeah.
actually giving away a copy of that this week. So if you want to get in the drawing to win that for PS4, make sure you check that out.
Now,
Thank you,
next
Just
Just
thing,
only
segue.
the best game of last generation, arguably.
the next thing
So,
was the
you
new
know.
controller, which I think we kind of forgot a lot about because there were some interesting things
All
in
it
there.
was, I mean, you could change
Which
all
that
the
was cool,
analogs and
swappable
the
parts.
D-pad, and it had like touch grips on the back.
had a touchscreen, the hair trigger.
extra.
There was,
there
some
was
other
a
pieces
sensor
we
pad on the
missed.
back.
Yeah, they didn't really show a lot. I mean, it was just sort of like photos, like look at this, and but they didn't
Well,
really explain.
They,
any of
they
it.
did show it. Yeah, they didn't explain it. They showed a lot of things because at one point it looked like I don't know if I detected like pressures and like there was a lot of sliders. And I don't
Yeah,
know if that
yeah.
changed
Yeah,
certain
that's
things.
true.
Like what does that change?
Maybe it changes like the pressure of the triggers, or who knows.
But it,
So I mean that.
it looked
Yeah.
it looks
It's gonna be
It's
expensive.
a good
It's
upgrade.
gonna cost more than your regular. It has to. It's probably gonna be like $100 at least.
But coming
Yeah.
with is that the controller that's coming with the Oculus Rift?
I don't know. That would be awesome, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That-
that's
Make it
After-
cost too much.
After that, they came out with a multi-platform game, which was announced last night. Fallout 4
yeah.
showed
And
up.
I was really thinking they were going to show some kind of exclusivity, but they really didn't. They
they
just kind of
did.
showed off the game again, and said, "Hey, remember us?"
Well, they did actually have some exclusivity. They
Oh,
talked
mods.
about how
Oh, that's
they,
right.
They
mods
talked
are
about how
coming to
they've
the
always
game.
had a
That's
good
right, that's right.
partnership with Microsoft, and they said all mods created on the PC version will work on Xbox One version. It's going to be harder to obviously mod an Xbox One
Yeah,
version, but
yeah.
you could obviously just mod it on PC and download it to
Sure.
Xbox
Yeah,
One.
I think that's what they meant.
And that'll be easy. Which modding's not big on for me, and obviously we've
It's
mentioned
cool to
before,
play
I'm
them,
not
though.
really big on Fallout 4, but people get into modding, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
something interesting. As far as what we could tell is the first real gameplay we saw, or did you guys see gameplay last night?
We saw
Yeah, they
gameplay.
showed a
You did?
lot.
Oh
of
man,
gameplay.
it was pretty much
all the same
Fallout
footage.
4.
It was pretty much
Okay.
all the same footage. They didn't really show anything new.
Okay,
But still, as of right now, like Brant and I were talking during the conference, that is really the game to beat, Fallout 4.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
game of show so far.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
EA Access. They went into that, which when we first saw it, we're kind of like, oh, whatever. But EA Access it's a really good deal, $30 for a year subscription. And they've all I looked at it recently, even before. They have the latest Madden on there. They have the latest FIFA. If you like sports games, obviously it's huge because the Vault is free. If you pay that $30, you download it.
Well, it's not technically free.
No,
I mean, it's $30.
$30, but I mean, it's kind of like the equivalent to PlayStation Plus.
Right,
As long as
right,
you're
right.
in it, you get a lot of great games. Not as many, obviously, as PlayStation Plus. There's tons, like thousands of indies or whatever. But like in that sense, you get some big games. But they did have big announcements, and I thought if you're an owner of this,
Yeah.
the fact that you're going to get Dragon Age Inquisition,
And
which was a
Titanfall.
big game,
Yep,
and Titanfall,
Getting both. Yep.
that's pretty big. And during E3 they announced it's going to be free for Xbox Live. You can
For a
At least
week.
you
try
can
it
That's
out.
try
right.
it out.
Yeah, you
For
can
a
at least
week.
try it out this week.
And then
so.
they finished with an EA announcement of Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2.
They didn't show any gameplay, but that trailer was hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm so
it
excited
was.
for that.
It was
I-
funny.
They didn't say it. They didn't say it, but I have a feeling it'll probably be a timed exclusive. I don't know. We'll see.
But they
They
showed
didn't say anything about
new
that.
characters looked fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like the corn and like
New
all the, and there was
worlds.
like an orange that looked like a tank, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
That looked
Hopefully
really
they
cool.
bring back all the previous
They
ones
will. They
plus
have
add
to.
those.
Yeah, they have to.
They
I mean, that
Just
game
make
was
it a
awesome.
bigger game. Yeah.
comes out next spring.
Yep.
They didn't say Xbox One exclusive, so we assume it's multi-platform.
Yeah. Same time, same day.
Yeah. Then we come out with Forza 6 Horizon, which we personally none of us really care about.
Yeah. I mean,
We're
it
not-
looked
we're not
really
racing
pretty.
Fans.
So if you like to drive,
It looked gorgeous.
It's it's the best racing
Yeah.
sim.
And we
think.
saw Henry
It's
Ford
past
III.
Gran
That's
Turismo. Yeah.
for 15 seconds, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. I mean,
This guy.
from what I get about them and like every other racing studio, like game studio, they go all out in really making the cars realistic.
Yep.
And then doing a lot in like exploration. So
if you love Forza, in a way, like
it's going to be a good Forza game.
it's like what you call kind of like a safety game. You know it's gonna be good every year.
Yeah.
You know, so if you love Forza, you're gonna pick it up.
Yeah, and I don't know if Forza people who are actually fans of the series might have a better perspective, but I don't know if Forza actually has the negative impact, say Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed, a lot of people are starting to get it's getting
Fatigued.
old.
But it's not a yearly game though,
Yeah, that's true. So
because
that
I mean they had
helps.
Forza 5, and then they had Forza Horizon 1 or 2. I can't remember.
They're starting
And
to
now
make
Forza,
it more common, though.
But
Yeah, I might have said
it's
that
every other.
wrong.
The main Forza series is every other year, so it's not every year like Assassin's Creed. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
okay.
What do we got next?
I think I said after that they came out with a multi-plat game, Dark Souls 3. They
Yep.
just showed a trailer.
And that was really surprising to see that at Microsoft's press conference.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
just trying to get it in your head, man. If you want to play it, get it on
the
Xbox.
best game, the best games come out for Xbox,
That's-
which
that's
they
the
didn't
big-
really show
They
much
really-
of
yeah, they
anything.
didn't
It
show
was
any
just like
gameplay, it
they
was just
showed
very
one of the
cinematic.
Titans that come out.
Yeah.
and that was about
it
it.
was
I mean,
a
it looked
very,
cool.
Yeah.
but
yeah.
probably because it's so new. Like we just heard about it a couple weeks
But
ago.
then they said it's coming out early next year, which
Yeah.
that's
They
really
did?
soon.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
So it'd probably be
early
like what, maybe
2016.
February,
Wow.
March, maybe.
Yeah,
So that's
which I have confidence in From Software that they won't screw it up. So
And after that, they came out with The Division. Ubisoft came out and they described it as an action RPG.
And they've
know,
already
it's-
said that's getting exclusive content to Xbox One first.
Well, it's getting a
but-
beta.
yeah, it's getting the beta too. That's right.
and
It
it's-
is getting a beta.
Is it today? Oh no, it's December.
Yeah.
It's December.
Yep. They're getting a beta, exclusive beta.
Yeah, exclusive beta, which is interesting. I kind of like what others have said about that. Like they're interested to play it. I don't know if I'm sold on it. You
Sure.
know, maybe the beta will help me out. It's something that seems very intriguing, but it depends on how the multiplayer works.
Sure.
And how they
if it's
build
anything like The
universe.
Last of Us multiplayer, then consider me in. Yeah, that was really good.
Right.
Now then they went into Rainbow Six Siege.
Yep.
And they made a special announcement. I don't know if it's just for Xbox, but they did announce that their Rainbow Six Vegas and Vegas 2, thanks to backwards compatibility, are going to come with it.
Right.
That's Rainbow Six Siege. If you're a fan of the Rainbow Six series, I haven't played them.
It's pretty much an online multiplayer where you're on teams where one people are like, kidnapping people and other people are trying to,
But isn't there a campaign?
I don't think so. I think it's only online multiplayer, isn't it? From last I
Yeah.
heard. Yeah, I think it's just a strict multiplayer, which is kind of the thing to do now.
No, but I think they have
Right.
a single player
Do they?
component,
Yeah, okay.
but
'Cause
it's
last year
all multiplayer centric.
Sure,
but
yeah.
it's still
sure.
got that
Because you got that team. It's all about
Yeah.
controlling your team. But last year they had that demo where they were like, it was like shown later in the show. I watched it where they were breaking into a house because there was somebody who was held hostage,
yeah.
and there was these enemies they had to take out. So it was like a story like mission.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a storied game.
Sure.
I mean, I haven't looked into it as much as others, and you guys comment if you want to
Yeah.
help out with that.
Let us know how wrong we are.
Yeah,
Because we are all on the
That's
left.
right. That's right.
yeah. You can tell which games we really care about, and which ones we're kind of like look interesting.
Sure.
And this next one was probably the lowest point of the show,
Well,
but
it was only a few minutes.
it was only like
Not
a
a
few
big deal.
seconds. It was a game called Gigantic, a new
Yeah.
exclusive.
It kind of looked.
Biggest free. It's a free to play.
free to
game,
play
So
game.
So you can only expect
There's
so much
nothing
out
much
of
lost.
a
Yeah.
free-to-play game.
Right.
But what was it? It was hard. It was like
It
very
reminded me
colorful.
because I played the beta of Fable Legends, and it kind of reminded me of that. It's
It
just
looked
4
like
people
that.
going after like a big monster.
But with
and-
how kind of low end the graphics were,
Sure.
I felt like the actual gameplay of it, which they didn't show any,
Yeah.
was going to be more MOBA style or something like you're away.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not actually around a certain character, but you kind of have like an overhead view or something like that. I didn't know how. Maybe not. I could be completely wrong, but it was very low end graphics for whatever.
well,
it was.
they just went like almost like a
was very
cartoony,
cartoony.
cell shaded almost. Not really cell shaded.
yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it
cel-shaded.
wasn't really pushing it graphically, but I mean, it's on Windows 10 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
So.
Now that's a game that we could probably be trashing so bad right now, and it's never going to be a great game, but we might try it.
It's
and
free to
think,
play, so
"It's
yeah,
fun,"
you might as
you
well
know?
try.
Exactly.
So we'll
It's
see.
you might as well try it. Then there was their indie thing, which
Yeah, the
for
only one that
us-
really matters on that was Cuphead.
No.
Cuphead looks
And that is
so
the one.
good.
That's the one game I feel like I'm missing out.
I've
on.
been so
I-
excited for that for so
It's,
long.
It's
it's
like a pure
fully
cartoon.
exclusive
It's like a 19
Xbox
yeah.
One.
It's like a 1930s cartoon, like the old Popeye cartoons and stuff. And oh my gosh, dude,
that's
Contra.
it's
with
Contra. Yeah, it's like you have, like,
cartoon
finger
graphic.
guns. It
It
looks
looks
so
and,
good.
and
awesome.
you
It
confirm
looks
that
so
is
good.
exclusive, right?
Yeah, it
That
is exclusive. Yep.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
bummer if
Yep.
you don't own an
And
Xbox.
they had some other games as well, like Ashen.
I
and
got
couple
a
other
I got a
things.
bunch. The
Yeah.
Cuphead, our feed actually cut out, and I didn't
for
I
a very
haven't-
short time. Yeah,
I haven't seen any other people comment about that, so I don't know if other feeds cut out. But we
it was
lost
just for a
probably
couple split seconds. It wasn't very long.
30 seconds or so
Yeah.
of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was Cuphead. We saw Below, which
That's
they had
another
mentioned
Xbox
last
One
year.
exclusive. That
Below,
looks good.
Behemoth had a new game. I didn't catch what it was.
I've heard about it. It's kind of like a real time strategy game. because every time they do a game, they do a different genre.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I mean, they had
They're
Cast
covering
Crashers,
all
which
their
like to beat them
bases.
up, and then they had
Yeah.
Battle Block Theater, which is kind of like a
And Castle
platformer, and now
Crashers
they've
is
got
just
this new
amazing.
one, which I don't think they have a name for it yet. It's called like Game 4 or Game 5.
I
or
didn't
something.
catch
They
it.
don't have a name
I
for
didn't.
it yet.
I think they have a name for it, but
No, there was
So-
one game.
but their games are always
called,
good.
There's
Yep.
one game called Recruits. Did you guys catch that? Remember that? Remember that
No.
at all? I stood out. There was Super Hot, which that one they showed last year because that was the one where it was all like basically a white world with red
Yeah.
hair, and you could like shoot bullet. It was interesting in the concept. Tacoma was one they came out and pushed,
that was
Yeah.
the Gone Home guys.
Yeah,
that
the
did
people
Yeah.
from Gone Home. It's like you're trapped in space by yourself.
which
it looks
that was
pretty
that
good.
Space game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
And Ashen, which is an exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Beyond Eyes, which we were kind of talking. The art style of it is kind of like Unfinished Swan.
Unfinished Swan, just from the way where you can't really see, but except for like just a little bit around your area. So.
Yeah,
It looked really pretty.
yeah.
It looked
interesting.
interesting. I don't know what it'll be a nice indie game.
Sure.
You know, if it's
Yep.
if it's
Oh, yeah.
15, $20, it might be worth it. You know,
Right.
Absolutely.
Then we had they announced their Xbox game preview program, which is where you can play games that are in active development, most for indie titles.
Yep.
Obviously,
So like early alphas and betas and things like
yeah,
that.
but you can play games in active development, give them feedback, and they will make the game better based on the feedback, which is it's the
It's
idea
very
of
PC
it.
Step in the right
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
direction.
I feel like what they're doing with this conference, they're trying to show that, I mean, with how much Windows 10, Xbox One, like parity, they're trying to make everything the same. They're trying
Yeah.
to turn the Xbox One almost into like a PC hooked up to your television.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm fine with that. I mean, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll
I
see where it
think
goes.
I think what we'll see from that is more people developing and making more indies, so they'll catch up on the indie library.
Yeah.
That's what I see it.
Well,
I
I
don't see it as majorly impactful.
Microsoft is really making things even again with the indie landscape because Sony was starting to dominate
Oh, yeah.
them. They had
Yeah,
it first,
yeah.
and then Sony took the swing at it. Now they're starting to level
Yep.
out again.
Oh,
So
I mean, because if you're a developer, you know, that's like you have Kickstarter where it's like, here's our game, fund us, but you don't hear about it until we're done. And then you have the other end, which is here's our new game, hopefully buy it, and nobody
Try it
hears
out.
about it. This is like,
It
here's
kinda
our
reminds
game.
me, like, kind of like
what do you want out of it? And
with
you can play
Minecraft.
it.
When Minecraft first came out, people paid to get in that alpha, and he sort of built the game around what people wanted, and they kept making it better and adding,
Which
it
is
better.
a
Yeah.
neat
And
idea.
So it's sort of like that.
It'll be interesting to see like people who play that preview and then you go back and play it again, like how different it is.
Sure.
You kind of almost will feel like partially, you're not actually a developer, but you know, you feel more. It's a new way to get into the process.
Yeah.
Which lately that's been the big thing from Kickstarter. Everything is people getting into the process. But they announced some games.
Developers talk to their fans so much more than they used to.
Oh yeah.
Like the guys over at Image and Forum and Zoink Games and all, they're always talking to their fans, which is awesome.
Now that's kind of the impression I got from this whole conference is everything from the small things like the weapon upgrades in games.
Mm-hmm.
It all seems like stuff that fans, not every single fan, but fans have wanted. Like
Sure.
in every single game, even multi-platform games, they keep coming out and saying, "This is what you guys have wanted. We're giving it to you."
Mm-hmm.
Last generation, there was a lot of great games, but it was a lot of, "Here's what we think you'll like."
Yeah.
This is like for the first time, I really
Tell us
feel
what you
like,
want.
yeah,
Oh,
tell
yeah.
us what you want, and we'll make it for you.
Sure.
Nintendo's the only company that's still like, "Here's what we think you'll like." But they,
and they're
It's
usually
always
right.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
usually they're always right.
Yeah, what else got, man?
but then they went to Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yep. And honestly,
November 10th.
before they announced Fallout and I saw a trailer for that, Rise of the Tomb Raider was probably the game I was most excited for the entire year. I was so hyped for Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And the trailer they
it
showed,
looked awesome.
it looked
It looks pretty.
It
absolutely
looks
Oh, man.
awesome.
beautiful.
But they made a horrible mistake. they are releasing Rise of the Tomb Raider on the same day as Fallout 4.
And let's just say
on
they
November
can
10th.
move that date.
They can.
Yeah.
They can't move it too far ahead because then it'd be competing with Uncharted, which they don't.
And they
want.
can't go too far before that because it'll be like Halo and the Call of Duty. So they're like,
But they're in
Yeah.
a tough spot with that.
yeah.
But
Although
but
it's gonna be
honestly,
awesome.
you try and look at it, and obviously, unless Sony comes out with unannounced games that are coming out this holiday, which they won't have many of because most unannounced games will be like down the road.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
way these companies work. You get through Halo and Call of Duty and Fallout 4. Tomb Raider's the only major one left
Yeah,
that I
that's
can
true.
think of. If you have an Xbox, obviously.
But the way I feel like if I have a choice, if I only have enough money for one game between Fallout 4 and Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
before it's Tomb Raider 100%. But now that I've seen what Fallout 4 is and what where it's going,
Yeah.
I think my money would have to go to Fallout 4. I'm gonna try to get them both, obviously, but as of
Yeah.
right now, if I can only get one, I think my money would go towards Fallout
But if
4.
you think about it, it's holiday. Most people
Yeah.
don't only get one.
True.
They get 2 to 3
Yeah, that's true.
on average,
That's true.
and they pick their 2 to 3. And out of my 2 to 3, I would say, obviously, I'm not as big on Fallout, but
Yeah.
you know, the thing,
We
I
know
would get
that.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
I've
you
already
would,
got
you would be
Halo
the one.
5. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd get Tomb Raider. I get Halo 5, and I would get
Laura.
maybe the Gears remaster or
But although Laura Croft is beating Nathan Drake to market.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a big deal or not, but I mean,
it's not because
once Sony
Uncharted
comes
is the
out and
game.
talks, I'm kind of curious if they haven't set
It
a
looked
release
really
date for Uncharted
similar.
4 yet.
Watching that trailer, it looked really similar.
Real-
to
it felt
Uncharted.
like a
Like,
same game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's also coming out for the 360, so that's
yeah,
another
yeah,
caveat because
yeah.
Uncharted is strictly PS4.
Now, I think Uncharted is going to be, since that's the one, it's going to beat Tomb Raider in sales
Sure.
because that's the one that Sony's going to push.
Yeah,
this
well, absolutely,
is our
absolutely.
title. See, Xbox has got Halo 5, they got Gears 4 coming out next year, they got Quantum.
And
Quantum
Microsoft
Break
has
coming
a
out.
lot.
I'm wondering though if because it leaked a little while ago about the Tomb Raider date, like a couple weeks back. I'm wondering if the Tomb Raider date was set first, and then Fallout just decided to make it November 10th. Like they didn't do
That's
it
a good
intentionally.
question.
So you're right. I think Tomb Raider might
They
ship
can
because
vary.
Fallout is the big dog right now. So we'll
Yeah.
see. What else you got, man?
Yeah. Then we got into a very big announcement that, because at this point we saw, okay, Rise of the Tomb Raider looks
Yep.
great, but we're kind of like whatever. Then Rare came out. And
Oh,
they
you
had
guys
they had
lost
some
your tops,
flags,
man.
and
You guys lost it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, it is awesome.
they came out and they had
$30.
like, this is our history, and we thought it was just going to be okay, a new game,
Yeah.
which they did have one, but then they said, guess what? 30 games in the past for $30.
Yep.
It only
Oh,
took
called
8
Rare
or 9
Replay.
years for them to finally
right.
use Rare rights.
But I mean, it's like it's Battletoads, it's Perfect,
Perfect
Dark,
Dark, Conkers,
Conker's Bad Verde,
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo Kazooie. Now they only showed nuts and bolts in the trailer, but
You
I'm
gotta
wondering
think
if
it's
they
30
will
games.
show Banjo
Oh,
and
yeah.
Banjo Tooie.
I mean-
So yeah,
I mean,
I
Sure.
think honestly this sounds terrible. I love Rare, but I can't think of 30 games they've made. So I'm super excited to find out what's listed.
Well, I
on
wonder
it.
if a lot of them will be like the Kinect sports games, because they
Yeah,
do those.
yeah.
So, I mean, if we still got Kinects, obviously they're not going to be anything we play.
True,
But
true.
have some friends over.
But
hey, you can
no
kick the
matter
ball.
what, I mean that collection alone for Conquered, Perfect Dark, Banjo,
That was
$30 is
huge.
no.
and then we thought,
Oh, yeah.
I thought
$30, absolutely.
I thought after that point that was going to be Rare's game they were working
Yeah,
on. I'm like,
I
okay.
thought the same thing.
And then they
Exactly,
come out
yeah.
and they say, here's our new game. This is the most ambitious game we've ever made
Mm-hmm.
as far as how big it is. And it was a piratey game. We kind of
Yeah.
felt as you're walking around. It had a nice art style to it.
Yeah,
It's
this is
very
the game that
cartoony.
made me
Um,
want an Xbox too,
yeah,
other than Cuphead.
It was
Yeah.
what Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea
Yeah.
of Thieves.
And it
It-
looks like to me like the Sid Meier's feel in that you just run around, do what you want in a pirate world, but it was more first person.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
It's exploration based. It's sort
Exploration,
of like
yeah.
them responding to No Man's Sky, only it's
Yeah,
the pirate setting.
kind of.
You like
or it's
discover instead of planets, you're discovering islands.
Yeah.
So it
with
feels like there's no real story
friends.
to it. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like sailing around with your friends. And you like
it
said,
kind of
find other
kind of
pirates.
take Assassin's Creed Black Flag
Yeah.
minus the story in a cartoony fun style that's more expansive.
Sure. Yeah.
Disney Infinity.
There you go. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be fun. I mean, it's not really on my radar, but it could be a good.
And then
Oh,
they
yeah.
came out and
But,
they did
yeah.
a brief thing on the crossplay with Fable Legends.
Yeah.
And
Which
they,
I mean, I played the beta. It was okay. That's still not.
I
on my
got
radar.
confused during this spell because they had a lot of announcements that didn't connect. It was the only time that it didn't connect and it wasn't clear.
Sure.
Because they really quickly said they got into VR
Mm-hmm.
and they said we're partnering with Valve VR. Now Valve has been working on a VR for a while.
I think so. But although Microsoft already partnered with Oculus, so I don't
Oculus,
really.
right.
And then
And
they
they
kept
have
saying
HoloLens.
Oculus. They kept saying Oculus. will do
Maybe
this
it's
and
the
Oculus will do
Vive.
that, so maybe,
Remember
I
that?
don't know.
See, I'm just wondering, Oculus might be their PC end.
Yeah.
Because everybody's talking about how the big announcement with Oculus, well, it isn't anything because it's PC still.
Yeah.
And all it is when you do stream games is it's like a virtual TV in a room.
Which you
Is-
talked about in our last podcast
yeah.
episode, so check it out.
Is Valve
Episode
VR,
13.
since it's so early
PlayStation
in
predictions.
Check it out.
but is Valve VR,
Subliminal.
that small announcement, is that going to be their Morpheus for their system? We don't know. Or maybe that's what I thought came to mind. Like, is that going to be, instead of creating our own, Valve's working on one, let's partner with them.
Yeah.
And let's say this is going to be our actual system, realistic virtual reality, later in development, obviously. It'll come out after Morpheus. But
That's crazy
mean-
to think about because that'd be like that and HoloLens.
And then
they have.
HoloLens,
And that
which
was the next thing they got into. I was going to say HoloLens.
now I wish they would have gave us like an estimation on when HoloLens is coming out.
I mean,
because
that honestly, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be way out of our price range. I mean,
Yeah.
it looked cool if they were doing. They have an
Oh, yeah.
exclusive Minecraft for it, And what they showed was really cool. Like he made the game on the table and it was like
that
rising
was-
up. And he could spin it around. He could like tap things and blow things up.
It-
Like,
it's
it was
easy
really
to-
cool.
yeah.
But to me, I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to afford this thing. So I'm like, for
But
me, that was the
Exactly.
slow part of the
I-
show.
I
I'm like,
wonder-
it's cool, but
I wonder
gotta
about
get
that though, because HoloLens, the way it's supposed to work, you're still looking through a glass screen. You're
Yeah.
seeing you will go out and see the table or
Yeah.
whatever. But it just creates holograms,
Mhm.
which is it
Right.
worked really well
Yeah.
from what they
it's
did.
it's only gonna work for I think certain games. I think the HoloLens is going to more be like computer apps and things.
Well,
like
they
that.
even
I
said
don't
there
see
was
it for
Oh,
the full-on
definitely.
games.
There was-
VR is going to be for the full on.
Yeah, but there was those demos earlier in the year with the HoloLens where it was like you were at your computer desk, but you were on Mars, and it converted everything around you to Mars. So it's like it can change how much of the integration into the virtual
I
reality.
keep thinking like they're just gonna like you're gonna be looking around in your own environment and put like Minecraft blocks everywhere, like something like that. That would
sure,
be cool.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it could be very, very expensive, but I think anything virtual reality is it's all gimmicks.
I think
every single
Morpheus
one
is
for
going
every
to be
system.
super expensive too. So I think
Yeah.
they'll talk about that at Sony. We'll see.
It's
Yeah.
it's a big thing. Well, then after that, they got into the last part of their show, and they came out with Gears. And they announced the Gears remaster coming August 25th. Wow, that's sooner than I thought. August.
Yeah.
And it was a remaster of Gears
You wrote
1,
it down.
1080p.
You're like, I'm surprised by that.
Yeah. I just kind of was typing everything.
What?
1080p, 60 frames per second. Beta starts today
Yeah.
for the multiplayer. Gears 1 was the only multiplayer I ever really got into, and I
Yeah.
loved it. It wasn't because I didn't like 2 and 3. It's because at that time, I wasn't as much of a multiplayer gamer. And you guys will probably learn later on, I never played much Call of Duty multiplayer. Like, that whole spell, I didn't play a whole lot of multiplayer. So I'm kind of, that's interesting. It's nice how it does upgrade the whole one multiplayer, and obviously the story's upgraded. That's the one that needed the most upgrading.
I'm actually, like I said before, I think the Gears remaster is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But if the whole Gears series is going to be backwards compatible, I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. We'll see.
Yeah.
But although that's what all the online play
Maybe
is
they
gonna be.
won't make those games backwards compatible,
Yeah,
just
that's
so
very
people buy it.
And they did
I don't
say
think they'd
that,
do that. I
but
think
with
they
the
I mean, that'd be a low blow,
Sure.
but yeah.
But with the Xbox One, all the
But I
backwards
wouldn't put it past
compatibility-
Microsoft.
Yeah, they said you could play your Xbox One against people with 360 as long as you're playing 360 games.
That's
which is
cool.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that is.
But
Yeah, we forgot to
all the
mention that.
all the online players of Gears is going to be on that remaster, not the old games. So that that's one thing I was
a
thinking.
lot,
It's true.
anyway.
But although when they
Yeah.
got to Gears 4 and they showed that trailer,
That
I
was the
like,
next
dude,
thing.
That game is
Looks gorgeous.
It
Yeah,
is
that-
such
I
a
mean,
pretty game.
That looks
And
like
you're-
the Order 1886.
Yeah.
It could beat the Order
Yeah,
1886.
and you're not fighting the locusts anymore.
No.
It's like a new enemy, and we don't really know what they are. Like these almost these
'Cause-
bloody. What do you call 'em?
Spoiler alert here. We know that at the end of Gears 3, which is a 3-4-year-old game, I don't know. At
Yeah,
the
it's
end
been
of
out for a
Gears
while.
3, they set off that bomb which destroyed all the glow stuff, but there was glowing pods again.
Yeah.
But the locusts, as a result, have had a peace with humanity now. Or I don't know if it's a peace. I couldn't figure it out at the end. But the only reason they were coming out of underground anyway was because of the glowing stuff from inside the earth. And so now I was interested in the story aspect because visually for me, I don't care as much
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I have eye issues, so visuals don't really work for me since I can't see everything clearly anyway. But
You should go back and play Zork
yeah,
Text Adventure.
yeah, and but it was interesting that we saw these glowing pods.
Yeah.
The coolest thing for me, though, visually was seeing the lightning hit the building.
Yeah.
And it like shattered, and it didn't look like a lightning, like a cheesy bolt in the background. It
No,
looked like a
yeah.
full-on lightning.
And there was
strike
like a
in the game.
tornado going on in the back with lightning,
storm,
fire going through it.
Oh,
It was
yeah, that
dude,
looked
that
The new
awesome.
enemy
game.
was
I am so hyped for that game. And it said holiday 2016, right?
so it'll be their big game next
yeah,
year.
that'll be the big game
Yeah.
because this year they've got Halo, next year they've got Gears. Year after that, maybe another Sunset
Yeah,
Overdrive.
now that's how they finished it. I was kind of hoping for one more thing moment.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think that what Gears of War would have been,
yeah.
except obviously we all knew about it. I think leaks kind of ruined this conference in not giving it as good of a score as we would.
Yeah, because we already knew everything was happening, so there's no
Yeah.
surprise.
Except the backwards compatibility.
Yeah,
The
that
backwards
was
compatibility
was
huge.
huge.
And then
Sure.
the games that we didn't know about that look interesting are the Recore and the Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the real question is, what would you guys rate? I guess, Josh, we'll start with you since you're not really the big Microsoft guy. From the outside looking in, how would you rate Microsoft?
I'd say solid B plus.
Okay,
It
cool.
was a really good
Yeah.
conference. Sony has
Sure.
to come with
Come out
good
swinging.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
they really need to
And I feel
hit
like
with that.
Sure, and I agree. I'd say about a B plus as well, just because, like Matt said, a lot of the leaks kind of ruined some of the surprises, and I thought a lot of what they had was awesome. But when I look back at the conference and I say, what made me say wow? And the things that made me say wow were backwards compatibility and old Rare games. So it's
Gears
like
4.
Yeah, well, Gears 4 obviously awesome.
Fallout
I mean, that-
4, which
But it
has
was-
already
it was
been
already
shown.
known,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, the part that actually surprised me is all about old stuff. It's not about
Yeah,
anything
it's
new.
all about the old
And
stuff.
so that's why I feel like I didn't rate it as high, but still.
Yeah.
They're
What
getting
about
on
you, Matt?
people's good
I mean-
graces.
Sure. How would you rate it?
I give it like for those of you in school and I'm a teacher, I give it that 93% where it's literally just
Going
an
to
A.
the
Just an A.
percentile.
Just got
It's literally just an
just
A.
above an A minus.
The reason
Percentile.
the reason I would say that is because, like we said, everything got leaked beforehand, but people start to look at these conferences all the time as, is this company going to win if they have the most shockers?
Yeah.
It didn't have as many shockers, but it revealed a great
Like that
lineup.
one year when Sony just came
Yeah.
all out
Came out
swinging.
swinging,
That was
absolutely.
a shocker.
We'll probably never see that again.
Yeah,
But,
but it,
Yeah.
it did have a lot of great games. Like, we go back and look at it.
Yeah.
If you have an Xbox One, there's a lot of good things you're going to get.
Oh,
EA
absolutely.
accessing those new games, the Rare Replay, the Rare New Game, the Gears Remaster, Gears 4, the new Recore game. All the
yeah,
indie
there is
titles,
a lot of good stuff
several
coming
of the
When
indie
I think
titles
of
were exclusive.
when I think of Microsoft, I think of ripping off people, but they're shedding off that whole
right.
stigma.
See, Phil
They're-
Spencer is just.
like I
Yeah.
said, he rode in on a white horse
He is
of
knocking them in
it
the
was,
shape.
it was
passion
just
and,
like,
like,
game after game after game, and a lot of them were multi-platform. There were a
totally
lot of
turned their
exclusives.
fortunes around.
Right,
And
right.
like I
It's
said, it's
like-
going to be interesting to see if
We'll see
Sony
what- see
and
what Sony
Nintendo
does.
can.
in the
Step it
in the
up.
long scope of things, I think it's not going to be the most exciting show. I think that Sony, if they have anything, if they have enough, I should say, because this was a lot of games. If Sony has about the same amount of games and a few exclusives, and if they reveal one big punch like Last Guardian, which I think they're going to, and I think
We'll
that's
see.
going to be what they walked in, and
see.
everybody's going to like drop them off
Just-
and be like, blown
Just get
away.
that out of the way right away. Just
Yeah.
show that.
It's been how many years?
And it has to
Yeah.
come out this year, or else
I think
they can't play any more games.
I think then people are just going to say, well, obviously Sony was so much better. But I think
don't
there's a
know.
lot of great games. I think 2 months from now, when I look at the games I'll be able to play, I'm
Yeah.
going to be very happy with this lineup.
Sure.
Oh yeah, they
No,
show
I
a lot of
absolutely agree.
games.
Okay, guys, you heard what we thought about Microsoft. So make sure to stick around and find out what we think of EA and
EA.
Ubisoft coming up next.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 3.
Please.